Hi everyone and welcome back. Having gone through the course outline, I want us to have a background understanding of what we're getting into. So what is SEO? SEO stands for search engine optimization. By the way, this is definition by according to Moz. Moz is spelled M-O-Z. Moz is one of the top platforms in SEO, right? So, and their simplest submission is it's search engine. It's SEO stands for search engine optimization, which is the practice of increasing the quantity and quality of traffic to your website through organic search engine results. I mean, what they put together here in this definition is every single thing that you need to know about search SEO. It is a practice, something that you do on a daily basis or day-to-day basis or bi-weekly or a time in a day. It's a practice, and the practice is geared towards a certain thing. The focus is to increase visits, traffic to website. Now, not just traffic, we want to make sure that we increase the quantity. The quantity keeps increasing, and the quality. By quality means that the people that the right people needs to be targeted with our efforts. Right people needs to be targeted. So we need to understand what we are putting out, who it is meant for, so we don't see wrong things. Imagine you are selling land, and then you are ranking for bags. You're getting traffic, but then it's wrong. It's a wrong traffic, right? So that's very important. And this traffic or visits should come from organic search engine, either Google, Bing, or Yahoo, or any of them, right? So it's simple test. I went to Google for the sake of this course, and then I searched for SEO. And on the first page, by the way, I'm using a tool, and the tool tells me that 5,400 people in Nigeria search for this exact word every month. That's what the tool is telling me. The tool also gives me an idea. So if I want to run a campaign or search campaign, by search campaign I mean search engine marketing campaign, paid advert to target this keyword. This is how much I'm likely spend per click, $1.72. Do you understand? So that's it. That's the tool I'm using. So, but what I'm saying is, I searched for these and it brought out results. On the first page of the results, I can see myself here. This is my setup. Maybe you should try it on your end as well. I think I'm on number 6 or number 7, thereabout, when you search for this ranking in Nigeria. So if you click on the website, it will take you to Giga Lagos, right? This is my phone number right here, and there are other people too showing, right? And that's a good thing about this thing, right? It just works. But then you must put in the work. You don't stop, you don't relent, right? Which is one of the reasons why I did this course, because if I helped you to do it and I'm not being paid, I can't be consistent, because I would need to commit my time to the people who are paying me, right, for this service, right? So that's why I'm doing this course, so that you can do it or by yourself or hire someone to do it, but you should know what they're doing for you. You should have an idea, if not 100%, of what they're doing for you. So my point is, I've done some things to increase the quality and quantity traffic to my website. So if anybody is searching for a SEO company in Lagos, they should find me and then reach out to me, right? and this is organic, right? So that's the idea, right? That's the idea. That's the idea. If you notice, I didn't put my website here. I don't put the name of my company here. I mean, some persons will say it's black hat. My brother and my sisters. The idea is do what works, right? What gives results, organic result, basically, right? And by the way, let me blow your mind. From to be on number one, before you come up on number one or first page, be certain that you are just one of other 65,000 results that Google has put together just for this question, just for this search. So have that at the back of your mind anytime you are searching. If you're searching for something and you are not showing, do not say I've wasted money. No. Find out where and what page you are ranking. That's the question you should ask. That okay, I'm not showing on page one. I'm not showing on page two. Can you tell me on what specific page I am ranking? Let me see. Let me see those who are ranking above me, those who are behind me. I mean, those are things that would point you in the right direction to know if there's something that you need to do to up your ranking, right? So, having talked a bit about this, let's go into how search engine works. How does SEO works, right? So, SEO works with a bunch of things. There are several factors that determine which website gets shown above which website. So a lot of top SEOs in the world, I mean, so according to this, in 2013, professionals like 128, based on survey, 128 SEO professionals in 2013 put this together to, as what they believe are the factors and on what hierarchy, and what percentage are they contributing to make sure that a website is ranked above another website. So that's why they were able to put this together as one of the things responsible. So if you're not showing on Google, you're not showing on page one or page two, or you're showing on page one or page two, maybe some of these things you have fulfilled, and your competitors are not fulfilling it. So don't misquote me. If you're ranking on Google right now and you've not done SEO, that does not mean that you have made it. No, it simply means that your competitors have not woken up. Once they wake up, you will lose your position. You need to be doing SEO to rank, right? If you're ranking and you're not doing SEO, make sure you start so that when your competitor wakes up, they won't just push you to oblivion, right? So number one thing, and by the way, like I mentioned to you, you know how when you go to Google, you just type something in Google or Yahoo or Bing, and then they bring out results. But just think about it. How that looks like magic. Just think about it. How do you think the result? I mean, by the way, like I mentioned, about 65,000 results every time you search for something. How do they determine this is how? This is how. This is how. I mean, a lot of things to talk about here. A lot of things, right? And this is just for the search engine. There's the optimization part of it. Optimization, I mean, this is also part of it. I mean, meaning that when you're writing your articles, things to do when you're designing your website pages, things to put in place and consistently optimize, right? Increase, do more, add more, something is not working, change, and all that's optimization, right? And like I said, optimization isn't just about, I don't have a website, I want to have a website and I want to start ranking on number one. No. Make sure that your website is even in good shape first. The goal is to be in good shape, make sure you're in the right position with Google standard and everything. Your website is fast and all of that. Before you know it, you will start to show. Then optimization can start. Optimization doesn't start when sometimes I advise people to start SEO even while they're planning their website. So if you want to build your website and you don't know how to do SEO before they deploy, make sure you get an SEO person, or you also work with them to make sure that they do all the right things as they're kicking off, right? So, what are the things on the hierarchy from 5% upwards? Your domain name, your domain level, and keyword agnostic features. I mean, that's the length of your domain name. We're talking about um, um, is your site secured? Is it HTTP or HTTPS? How fast does it load? You know, are you in other countries? Or are you using one website for all the countries? If you have an office in Ghana, you have an office in Port Harcourt, you're in Kenya, and you're just using one website for all. No, you should have specific extension for Ghana, for Nigeria, for Kenya. So that's like number one. Number two is, do you have your domain name, your keyword, your industry keyword in your domain name? That's another thing. It is very important. When you're doing your social media activities, do you just post, or you add links to your post? If from Facebook, you can easily add links. On Twitter, you can easily add links. On Instagram, even though you can add links to your post, make sure you direct them by putting a link in your bio. There are so many tactics right now that people can deploy. So you can have a link tree in your bio, and then you refer people to the link tree. So when you put out a post on Instagram asking them to do certain things, you can then say, okay, for more, go click on the link in the bio. Things like that. You're automatically also driving traffic, to your website, quantity and quality traffic, at that, and with links, because you have put the link on your Instagram. It's on your it's not on your website, it's on your Instagram page. So that automatically means there is a new link pointing to your website. That said, user usage, traffic, and all of that is also a very key thing. Who are the people coming to your website? How often do they come to your website? When they land on your website, do they leave immediately, or they go from one page to another? Right? Those are key elements, things that Google also the search engine used to determine if this website is good to be ranked or not. If people leave immediately, almost immediately, few seconds after they land on your website, then it's a problem. Google would automatically just say, you know what, this guy isn't doing something right. We can't rank them. If you're ranked, they will drop your ranking. Right? They want to make sure that any website that they are serving to people is user friendly. User friendly means that users love to spend time on there, scrolling from top to bottom, going from one page to another. That is very key. And then all other features like the mentions of your website. Are people talking about you or your brand name in other places? Excuse me. That's another key thing, right? They want to make sure that people are talking about you in other places. Another thing is the readability of your content. Are your content unique? I want to talk about. A typical example is Neil Patel is one of my mentor and one of the top guys in SEO. He's been in the game for a long time, and if you search for what is SEO, I think you should see one of his article. That article is about 15,000 words. Now, I didn't say that you should go and write an article and make sure the article is 15,000 words. No, it did not even start like that. I'm sure in one of his videos he explained how it happened and why, to give people like a pointer to what you can do, right, to remain relevant and keeps ranking. the content is old, but then he keep refreshing it. Refreshing means that I think the first time he wrote it was about 3,000, and he was ranking on the first page. Then some persons came and then outranked him. They pushed him down. So he looked at what they wrote, did more research, and then added extra content to his own to make it 5,000. Then he outranked them, and that has been like the game has been like that. It's been like that. So he's monitoring. I mean, he didn't just write the article and just neglected it. He's monitoring it to make sure that it stays on top, right? So I mean, that doesn't mean that it will never drop. Like I mentioned, the reason why he's monitoring, the reason why he keeps at the top is because I mean, at one point in time, he has dropped. He has dropped. When he dropped, he looked at what was happening, did what was wrong, looked at pointers and all of that, and then implemented some tactics, and then it worked, right? So that's it. That's a key thing. Is the content unique? Does it load very fast? What's the length? What's the readability score? So some of the plugin I'm going to introduce to you will guide you. So when you're creating a page or a blog post, they will tell you the readability is poor, it's 5%, it's 10%, you don't have a link, you don't have an image. They will give you some pointers, right? And please note, these applications or tools should not be like your all in all. What they do is like they point you, they just give you pointers. You can't just stick the word hook and sinker, right? They give you pointers. The pointers maybe 100 may be correct, they may not be correct, right? They are machines, and what they do is they just look at trends and do 1+1 permutation and combination, and then to give a recommendation. So recommendation is what they give, right? So just note that, have that at the back of your mind. But it takes a lot of time to follow their recommendation and do more than their recommendation, right? Make sure that you're also watching it. So when you implement one of their recommendations, make sure you watch it. Another thing that they talked about was the relevance of your content. I mean, I think I've addressed that. Now, another thing is page level link features, e.g., page rank, trust, quantity of links, anchor test. I mean, so for some of the article, some people will just write an article and they'll just hyperlinks anything they like to anywhere. No, the things that you hyperlink, we call them anchor test, right? So if, for instance, you want to link search to a place, make sure that the place you are linking search to talks about search. You can't link search to bag. No, you can't link search to a place that talks about optimization. No, that will be completely wrong. That's another key thing about your website. You link with right anchor test, with a lot of links and all that. I get a lot of people to also point back to your website. I mean, because it's a game of trust. If Vanguard, for instance, points to your website, it's a deal breaker. I mean, it's a big deal for you. I mean, I don't mean deal breaker in a negative sense. I mean in the positive sense. It's a game changer for you, because automatically, and it may not be instant. That's another thing. It won't be instant. Google or search engines will just take note of that and say, if these guys are pointing to these people, then there's something good about them. They will hold it in their left hand. And the more the thing happens, the more your credibility increases, and then one time you just discover that you're ranking on the one. Same thing that's the idea and the ideology around ranking. What the factors that determines what gets ranked. For those of us who already have a domain name, right, and you like to change, my domain name is Giga Lagos Digital. I'm in the digital marketing industry, so digital is there, right? Some person, I think, digitalmarketinginstitute.com. That's their URL, right? It's a good one for them and it's working for them. So if in case yours is not like that, it's something else. Maybe it's your name, right? You can change it. Yes. Now, changing doesn't mean that you would neglect what the other one. There are several tactics that we can do. Domain redirect, meaning that you buy a new one, you link your website to it, and then anybody that searches for the old one, they will be redirected to the new one. So you'll be getting the traffic from both, right? And after a while, people would be used to the new one, and then the old one can be phased out after some years, but it is essential that you choose the right domain name now. Like I mentioned, I'm going to teach you how to optimize, how to know what theme works best for you, and in terms of SEO and performance, speed, and all of that. Because one key thing that Google is targeting right now is all the websites are not well built. That don't load fast, that the readability is poor. They want to make sure that anytime people click on your link, the website opens almost immediately. That's one thing. They also want to ensure that when people are reading, one text is not too big, it's not bigger than the rest. If it's going to be big, it should be well coordinated, right? Right headings in the right places, punctuation in the right places, spaces in the right places, at the right spot. The images, not something overlapping. And something moving up and down. There's something we called core vitals. A lot of websites got penalized in the last June when Google released a new update of the algorithm. By the way, it happens every six months. So another one is happening in December. So before that happens, it would be nice to make sure that your website is in good shape. So when some people would lose their ranking, right, some persons will be replaced. They said when somebody's bad luck is somebody's good luck, right? When something bad happens to somebody, something good happens to someone. So that's about it as well. Not all the time though, but in this case, yeah. So another algorithm is coming in December. Make sure that you have put your house in order, so when it happens, you jump up, basically. Yes. So that's it about how SEO works. Now we're going to go deep into the course. See you in the next class. Thank you. Bye for now.